I know most of you watching right now are age 35 or older. And yes, this style of training is for you and perhaps especially for you. I do not want to hear I'm too old or it must be nice to be young. Look, I'll be 36 in 2 weeks, and 3 years ago, I could not walk from a back injury. I've had surgery on my calves for compartment syndrome. I have Osgood-Schlatters disease. I've fractured my kneecap. I've busted up my Achilles, and yet here I am feeling like I'm 22 years old doing anything and everything. My point is, our bodies are incredibly adaptable, but it starts with belief. Change does not happen overnight, but if you plant the right seeds every day, you'll be shocked by what your body is capable of. So, the type of training I'm talking about, incorporating explosive movements. And no, I don't mean you need to learn Olympic lifting. Nope. Just how to fire your muscles faster and harder. We know that our bodies have both fast and slow twitch muscle fibers, and most people neglect the powerhouse that is the fast twitch. They're bigger, they generate more force, and they fatigue faster. So, if you want to be quick and powerful and to train efficiently, this needs to be part of your program. And this is not just for athletes either. It improves our neuromuscular systems, which is really just how our brain talks to our muscles. AKA, it'll lead to better coordination and faster reaction times, and some studies have shown it can spike metabolism as well. As we age, we lose muscle mass, and we have a name for it: sarcopenia. And guess which muscle fibers are the first to go? Yep, the fast twitch, which is why, generally speaking, older people can't move as fast. So, if you want to maintain agility, quickness, and power later in life, you need to be training like this. And the best part, this style of training can be applied to any training modality, with weights, with machines, with bands, body weight, all of it. It just boils down to how fast you can contract the target muscle and exerting as much force as you can as quickly as possible. Of course, this is something you should do only when you're warmed up. And because this style of training can be taxing to your nervous system, if you've never done it before, I would limit it to once or twice per week to start. Or perhaps you can just start with 2 or 3 sets at the end of your workouts and ramp up from there. I will say you don't want to be slamming force into stiff joints if you lock out any different movement when you're doing this. So finding the proper resistance can be tricky at first, so again, just go slow and be patient and find what works for you. I will say with bands, the resistance does increase as you perform the movement, which in my opinion is ideal for this style of training. And you can do this on the concentric and eccentric parts of the movement, but about 75% of the time I still go very slow and controlled on the eccentric. I pause at the bottom and then I explode up and contract with everything I have. I'll also do less reps this way. If I usually do a set of 10 or so, maybe with explosive training, I'll only do 5 reps. But if you are trying to prioritize training your cardiovascular system, of course, do as many as you can in a set. But if you want to maximize the fast twitch fiber recruitment and developing that power and reaction time, you want to do these reps where your heart rate is not a limiting factor. And I will say, if you've never experienced it and you've never trained like this over at least a few months, the feeling of being quick and explosive is really unmatched in my opinion. It just helps me to feel so much more capable rather than just being bulky and slow and not able to move. This helps me feel entirely different. And I do believe it's just a part of why I really still feel like I'm 22 in a 36-year-old's body. And as always, I'll answer any and all questions in the comments for as long as I can.